YouTube, as you know, at Ben Chender Commentary, and you can find me on there. And I'm now live on YouTube as well. There we go. Boom. I will be looking at the wrong camera almost every time if I try and look at both. But yeah, currently YouTube is right here. TikTok is right here. Am I watching the big one tomorrow, Chris? I'm not. I can't do Sunday games for a few weeks, so I'm kind of keeping it to Saturdays. What I might try and do is like the Saturday 12:30 and the Saturday 5:30 going forward, but I can't guarantee I'll be able to do both. Oh, here come Man City though. Rico Lewis, Jeremy Doku. Everyone camps into the West Ham penalty area right now as Man City start to put the pressure on. Please West Ham do Arsenal a favour. You're an Arsenal fan, HW. I thought so. Proper Sunday game tomorrow. Old Firm and Man United, Liverpool. They do that every year. I'm sure it's always Man United versus Liverpool, the same dates as Celtic Rangers. Jack Grealish. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Flips it towards the back post. Good defending. Max Kilman, the hero there, getting rid of it before Haaland could get there. Love the false cast and the football filling. Yes, so do I, Ben. I didn't think much of Ben Foster as a football player, but he's brilliant, and I love his shows. I actually think they're brilliant. So, who do I think will win out of Man United and Liverpool? Ooh, great question, Christian. I think that could be. I think if there's gonna be a winner, I'd probably go with Liverpool. I actually really like them so far under Arne Slot, but I think it's probably more likely to be a draw. De Bruyne, Vardio heads it, easy catch for Aviola. Freddie, how you doing? Great to have you back on. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you on. How are you doing? And are you watching West Ham versus Man City? What are your thoughts if so? Ben, I'm now talking to you on YouTube. You are the only person live on my YouTube, but it's great to have you on. Is this any more helpful to you now that I've got it on YouTube as well? Freddie, you put 3-1 for City on Super 6, which looks pretty likely at the moment. Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing I think about the Super 6 with this game and that result was West Ham getting a goal, but now that's happened, I think it could happen. Right, guys, I'm going to commentate for a bit. Let's see what happens. Vardio, Grealish might get in there. Oof. Bernardo Silva clips it towards the back post and it's cleared away. I think that was Jared Bowen on the other side of the pitch to where he started. He got rid of it though. Here's Jeremy Doku. Surrounded by West Ham shirts. Akanji. One touch past De Bruyne, whose pass was intercepted by Rodriguez. Kovacic. Christian, enjoy your tacos, and whenever you are ready to jump back on, it'll be a pleasure to have you on. In a bit. Doku, nice 1-2 with De Bruyne. It's good defending though. We've gotten rid of it. It's perfect. You skip back 30 seconds to line up the commentary with your TV so you don't spoil the game while still being able to listen to you. Perfect, Ben. I appreciate that. So let me offer that out to anyone on TikTok as well. Oh, hang on. Maybe in a moment. Doku. No. West Ham, get rid of it. Corner. For anyone who wants to be able to sync up my commentary to what you're watching on the game, Ben, who was following on TikTok, he's now following on YouTube, and he says what he's been able to do is skip the game back to line up with my commentary. So if you did want to do that, it seems like you can, but you need to be on my YouTube, which is at Ben Chender Commentary. I have a live stream going on right there as well, so feel free to do so and catch me on YouTube if you prefer. Header from Antonio hits the hand of Bernardo Silva, and that will be a free kick to West Ham inside their own penalty box. Bernardo Silva pointing that it hit his sleeve, which is very controversial after the Bournemouth winner last week against Newcastle being ruled out. I think you're going to see a lot of football players in future saying that balls have hit their sleeve instead of their arm. Jason, great to have had you on, Jason. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for jumping on for the first time. Please make sure you do in future, and have a great rest of your week. Jasper, how are we doing? Another one of the OGs. It has been good today to see more and more people, more and more OGs have returned. So great to see you back, Jasper. Hope you're doing well. Tell me about your weekend or your week even. And I think Leeds were winning, right? Did they win 2-0 against Hull at one point? They were winning 2-0. So you must be in a good mood. Max Kilman, West Ham, 1-1 at home to Man City so far. They started very well. Man City warmed into the game and got the lead through Erling Haaland, taking advantage of a mistake from Lucas Paquetá. West Ham got themselves an equaliser completely against the run of play. Own goal from Ruben Diaz after Jared Bowen drilled the ball across the 6-yard box. And now West Ham seem way more into the game. Wan-Bissaka, Antonio leaps up with Ruben Diaz, who did win the ball. Kovacic, Erling Haaland comes short for it. Bernardo Silva back to Kovacic. Jeremy Doku on that right-hand side to allow Jack Grealish to return on the left. Rico Lewis, Kovacic, Diaz from Man City, clips it out to the wing and finds Jack Grealish. And I mean, it's so interesting to see with the return of Grealish just how much he gets the ball. The Man City players clearly trust him. Lewis, beautiful play from City on the edge of the area. Haaland! Oh, what a goal! Erling Haaland! What a brilliant goal that was. That hit wasn't so much accurate as it was powerful. And Man City have gone 2-1 up with Erling Haaland once more. He's on course for another Premier League hat-trick. He's only one away. The passing from Man City on the edge of that area was ridiculous. West Ham were being played around like they weren't even there. About 5 different players touched the ball in the build-up. Grealish runs into the area, plays to the edge of the area. Bernardo Silva touches to Kovacic, who touches to Rico Lewis. And Haaland on his left foot just decides, I'm just going to put all the power I can into this. It's basically in the middle of the goal. But it's high into the roof of the net. It's powerful, and it beat Areola by its pace and power. Man City are 2-1 up after 30 minutes. And West Ham again have to find something from a team that gives such a small amount away. And City are going again with Mateo Kovacic. Doku on his right. Haaland makes a run into the area. Here's Jeremy Doku, clips it towards the 6-yard box. Alphonse Areola comes out to collect. Erling Haaland, joint most goals at this stadium as a visiting player. Him and Salah both on 5. Now Antonio for West Ham at the other end of the pitch clips it towards the back post. Vardio heads it back home to Ederson with Jared Bowen following up behind. The Earlsley, thank you so much for sharing the live. I hope you're doing well. Please feel free to follow if you're not already following. Teddy Parks, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Jasper, as you know, I always appreciate you sharing and liking as you do. You are a legend for that always. The Earlsley, thank you very much for these shares. Like I said, please do hit that follow button and join me on more lives going forward. For anyone else who wants to watch the game in sync with my commentary, please feel free to jump on my YouTube at Benchen the commentary as I'm streaming on there right now. Doku, he finds Haaland, not the easiest position to shoot from, so he plays it back to Bernardo Silva. City getting numbers forward again. West Ham do have numbers back though. Doku, here's Kevin De Bruyne. Back inside to Doku. Seems to mishit that one. Kovacic and Man City in full control. De Bruyne again against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Vardio. Rico Lewis with the back heel. Grealish. It just seems like Man City always have the extra player. Kevin De Bruyne towards the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Max Kilman, who I thought had a brilliant game last week against Crystal Palace. He seems to be really settling in with West Ham. This is a tough test for anyone. Erling Haaland is an extremely tough test. Bernardo Silva flicks it over to Manuel Akanji. HW, have a lovely dinner. Bon appetit. Guna for life. Shush bro flippy. If that was meant to say to shush, then I'm sorry, you're probably just on the wrong channel because I'm just commentating. So I'm literally only on here to talk. Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, that left-hand side where Man City have had so much joy. Even with the second goal, it did come from Jack Grealish. Oh, play there. For Man City to win it back just outside their own area. Bowen plays it back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who sends it towards the halfway line. Ruben Diaz wins his header. And now, I wonder if Man City can get an attack going with Rodriguez. He's gone out for a throw. Julian Lopetegui, in his first battle against Man City, must be understanding right now why so few West Ham managers have had success against Manchester City. It's just about how clinical they are when they get an opportunity. And Man City have huffed and puffed. Kevin De Bruyne hitting the post. Haaland with his 6th goal of the season. His 5th and 6th goal of the season. Both come today. Now Lucas Paquetá. Jared Bowen. Running to the area. Tries to flick it through for Mohamed Kudus. A little bit too central, a little bit too close to Ederson. He picked it up and collected with ease. Erling Haaland had 27 goals last season in a season where he missed a lot of games, didn't he? So to have 6 in the first 3 games of the season, it's literally terrifying. Shay, am I a Hammers fan? I can't talk about who I support. I keep that close to my chest. Why do you think that? Do I seem like a Hammers fan? Kovacic for Manchester City, sprinting through the middle of the park, finds Kevin De Bruyne, and he's stretched out to Grealish. As I was saying earlier, they give the ball to Grealish so much, Man City. Even though he didn't play so many games last season, he's clearly seen as a player who is going to do so much with the ball when he gets it. So they just give it to him all the time. Wan-Bissaka took out Mavropanos, and Mavropanos stayed down for a quick moment. Corner now for Man City, and their captain Kevin De Bruyne will be taking it. Shay, thank you very much for the likes. Really, really appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that follow button so you can jump onto way more of my lives in future. And you'll know when I'm actually going to commentate a game in future too, because I do a preview video every time. Jeremy Doku headed away by Max Kilman, and now Mikel Antonio on the left-hand side will try and take the ball away. There is no support for him. Erling Haaland is sprinting back to try and cover. And Haaland in defence saves Man City as Antonio was on the counter there. He is so fast. And West Ham take the throw. They've had to go backwards. Man City with every player behind the ball while West Ham tried to build an attack from the halfway line. Paquetá, Wan-Bissaka. West Ham allowed James Ward-Prowse to go out on loan whilst he was one of their joint top assist makers last season. Quite an interesting decision in my opinion, but Lopetegui clearly doesn't think that they need him. Kudus couldn't get hold of the ball, and Man City can go again. Haaland actually decides to take his time, finds Bernardo Silva. Man City not sending anyone forward. Even Haaland is behind the ball and he's just walking. Might be tired still from tracking back from that corner. But this is the difference. Man City, if they decide they want to move at walking pace, they can and they do, and no one can do anything about it. Whereas rarely another team will be allowed to do it against them because Man City will just press so highly. Jack Grealish. Bernardo Silva. And Man City are playing at, like I say, almost a walking pace right now. Akanji. Jeremy Doku. Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji. Haaland. Oh, here's Rico Lewis. Great first touch. Oh, over the bar. That should be 3. Rico Lewis with a great opportunity there. And if it was the other way around where Lewis had played that through to Haaland, you'd probably think it would have been 3. It's a good run by him. Haaland plays him well onside. Great first touch by Lewis. Just allows him to open himself up, try and figure out the right angle to beat Areola, but maybe just a little bit of inexperience from that position and wasn't really able to find the right finish. He lofted it over the bar. Vardy. Vardio sends the ball all the way back home to Ederson. Naira, you're a Leicester fan. Ref was awful for you today. I'm so sorry. I haven't had the chance to see the Leicester Villa game. I believe it ended 2-1 to Villa. But it sounds like you had a good go against a really tough team who, you know, were in the top 4 last season and probably will be in and around that area this year. So you've had some tough fixtures this year to start the season, and it seems like you're doing not too bad, I'd say. But yeah, sorry to hear that you guys lost. How do you think you guys are going to do this season? Do you think that you're going to end up staying up? Are you worried about any sort of punishment for the FPL charges? First off, it's questionable, but second off, you were great. Well, it's quite similar to the Tottenham game then, ain't it? But it's a shame when the ref doesn't play on side. I'm sure that they'll come back next season, maybe. Shay and Naira, you're both jumping on the same people's lives? Well, in that case, do us a favour, go back onto Taz21s and steal everyone else who's on there too. Grealish. Man City not afraid to just send the ball all the way back home. Bowen just seems to throw Manuel Akanji to the ground in order to get past him and chase Edison. Lewis. Doku plays it back to Edison. International break has come at a good time, I think, I mean, I'm not a fan of international break, but it does give every team a chance to reset, and especially if you're down the bottom. I think Southampton will be happy to have that break. Same with you guys. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Doku running into the area. Jeremy Doku, oh, that last touch, he just seems to let the ball run away from him a little bit. I think he might have won a corner there for Manchester City. Naira, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I'll catch you on way more of my lives now. I do generally send out a little preview video before the game, so anyone who is following can see that I'll be doing a live stream. So you will now be able to know that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Shay, thank you very much for the likes. That is also a huge help to me. The more people that like, I believe, anyway, the more people can see that I'm doing a live, and then therefore they end up on this somewhere, algorithms, all of that stuff. So I appreciate everyone who hits live. Thank you. Bernardo Silva heads it towards the back post. Hooked away by Lucas Paquetá. Could have got a head on it, but Grealish defended that well and got it back to Rico Lewis. Grealish taking advantage of there being no Phil Foden in the squad right now and being able to play today. No Sergio Rivas. Grealish 2 years ago was instrumental in Man City's treble inside in a year where Foden didn't play as much, and then vice versa. Last year, Foden got a lot of game time while Grealish was benched a lot. Oh, Doku easily gets past Emerson, comes back at him. Doku decides to be kind to him and play it backwards to Rico Lewis. Man City have two great wingers playing today with Doku and Grealish, both able to win one-on-one battles. Kovacic, West Ham, they're going to come away with the ball, and they do. Antonio struggling to find where to go. I think De Bruyne got a block on that, and it'll be a throw to West Ham. You play Palace and Everton. They should be good for you. Now is a good time to play Everton. I'll tell you that. That defeat against Bournemouth, that's so bad for Everton. 2-0 up with, I want to say it was 10 minutes left, maybe 15, to lose the game. Terrible result for Everton. And I mean, you thought the way they played last season, when they had all those points deductions, that this is going to be a doddle, because they were effectively, joint 12th or something last season, if you took away the deductions. They're playing this season like they're going to go down. It's a really poor start to the season for them. So yeah, if I were you, I'd want to play them right now. And Palace, they could be a tough one. I wouldn't fancy Leicester against Palace, I'd have to say, home or away, to be honest. Well, here's Doku running into the 6-yard box. Cross was low and it got a block. Lewis, a bit too light there. Rodriguez barged him out of the way, sent him flying. Oh, Antonio plays it past De Bruyne, who slides, brings him down, yellow card, says Michael Oliver for the Manchester City captain just before half-time. Shay, very good idea to take Foden out of your FPL team. And a great swap as well, because Onana is having a great time for Villa, isn't he? So great decision-making there by you. Naira, some stewards had to surround the ref today as your fans were fuming at full-time. Jesus. Were you at the game by any chance, Naira? It makes you happy knowing teams are worse than you. Elliot, the score is currently Manchester City, who are 2-1 up at West Ham. 2 goals for Erling Haaland, and an own goal from Ruben Diaz has kept it 2-1. So Elliot and Naira know each other too. Okay, well, seems like Naira knows everyone, which is pretty cool. Naira, keep bringing your friends in. I like this. This is actually quite helpful to me. Switching over to my YouTube channel, Ben, Man City are just unfair. They're a juggernaut. Tough to argue with that. It is really tough to argue with that. Man City they're just unstoppable this season as well. They are playing right now this season the way they did at the end of last season, and that's frightening for the whole league, especially when Arsenal started so well. But you know, something like Declan Rice's red card, which in my opinion probably shouldn't have been a red card. You think about that and you go, Arsenal have done everything they can do, and already that kind of draw could cost them dearly, because Man City just don't know how to draw or lose. De Bruyne with the free kick. Oh, just over the bar. Just over the bar. But Man City are a juggernaut, and there's a tiny part of me that thinks, were Man City and Arsenal as close last season as we thought? Obviously, we saw there was only a 2-point gap in the league, but that's Man City winning the league over Arsenal in a season where they went months without Kevin De Bruyne or Erling Haaland, which, I mean, and they had a little bit of time without Rodri too. Like, how can you expect them to be at full strength when they're 3 best players? It's not like they were playing consistently. Whereas Arsenal, they had Saliba playing every minute of every game, basically, and all their best players were playing almost the whole season. Odegaard and Saka weren't really off, were they? So Man City essentially won the league with a weakened side. Oh, Kudus drills it across the face of goal. West Ham's chance to get an equaliser before half-time, and their first real chance in quite some time. But that might not be a bad idea for West Ham, having Kudus go up against Rico Lewis. Might fancy that as their best opportunity or their best avenue for success. Sorry, back to the Man City Arsenal. Arsenal, you feel bad. You can tell how much Arteta wants to win a trophy. It must be so disheartening when Man City do this with ease. Arsenal look like they have to try so much harder. They do, and they've gotten better. Like, trying to compete with Man City, Arsenal have become easily the best team in the country, not called Man City. Like, it's not really debatable. No one else is really as good as Arsenal. It's just simple as that. It's just that Man City are a different level. But like I said, I think Man City won the league last year, where for large parts of the season, their best players weren't playing. And now we're seeing them start this season so well. And these aren't easy fixtures, especially away from home. Away from home to Chelsea and away from home at West Ham are 2 difficult places for most teams in the league to go to and win. But they have done the first one comfortably. They're doing the second one very comfortably as well. And it might be because they've got their best players playing. And actually, when their best players are playing, Man City maybe are just so much better than the rest of the league. There we go. That's my very long thoughts on Man City and their dominance over the Premier League. But I do think you keep Haaland, De Bruyne and Rodri fit, they probably win the league very easily this season. Right, back to TikTok. What are you guys saying? So, Elliot, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Oh God, how far back am I? This is just a bit of chat between Elliot and Naira, catching up, it seems. So I will bypass that. Elliot, are you a Leicester fan as well then? But thanks for the follow, really appreciate it. Referees need to be investigated in the Prem. It's a joke. But who are they biased for? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite consistently poor for everyone. So, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if any team would have had any reason to complain more than Wolves last season. So, yeah. And I don't think that affected where they ended in the league too heavily either. So, I think they're just inconsistent with everyone. And, yeah, I don't think it's like a bias towards anyone in particular. What's my opinion for the red card for Rice, but no yellow for Pedro? Oh, actually, sorry, I missed one. Here's Adam. Adam Waite, sorry. Do you know where I can buy a NECA Prometheus Elizabeth Shaw figure, mate? Amazon. Elliot, what's your opinion on the red card for Rice, but no yellow for Pedro? I think, yeah, I said it earlier, actually. That had to have been a yellow card for Pedro, or it can't be a yellow card for Rice. I think that even if the referee wasn't sure who they were going to card, or if they're going to card 1, 2, or neither, like just don't pull the yellow out, because it's not that consistent. It's not like every game we see someone getting booked for kicking the ball away. It's just not worth it. It's a bit of a silly rule. But then again, football players are just so frustrating to watch anyway. If we said, right, we're going to remove that rule, every player is going to start kicking the ball away at all times. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to say about how the referee should play that in future, other than book everyone or don't book anyone. Your fans were chanting to the ref, "You're not fit to referee." That's what Arsenal was singing. Found out the referee supports City. Oh God. Shay, good game to be fair. If you're talking about West Ham and Man City, I agree. Yeah, I think West Ham are dangerous enough to still get something out of this game if they get the opportunity. Naira, the referee supports Notts County. Where are you guys finding out where these referees support? Or who they support? Shay, what's my opinion on Manuel Ugarte signing for Man United? I have to admit, I don't know too much about him, so I can't say if I think he's great or not. But it's a position where Man United needed support, and I don't think it's going to get much worse, especially when you've gotten some of that money back by selling McTominay anyway. So, yeah, I'm not overly sure it's going to be seen as a bad decision. Casemiro is playing quite well this season anyway, so it may not be the end of the world if he doesn't play great, as long as Casemiro can at least keep up. But the question is, does he have the legs to play, essentially, in the Premier League when it's just this fast-paced? And Mainu just needs support in the middle. Noor, thank you very much for sharing my live. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Naira, he's an Arsenal fan. Elliot says you support Arsenal. My apologies. But yeah, you must be fairly okay with the way the season's going so far, but maybe a little bit frustrated with how that red card went for Rice today. Naira, to be fair though, Villa were good, but a fact a Leicester team were dominating you was a bit poor. Maybe Leicester were just better than we thought because they dominated Spurs as well. So in the second half at least. So I'd say Leicester at home, they are good. Yaks. You've seen it all. Haaland is not normal. Just hand over the league to City. Tough to argue with that, to be honest. He is pretty good, isn't he? And he's causing damage to every team he touches at the minute. 6 goals in 3 games so far this season. And that third game isn't over yet. So, yeah, make sure he's in your FPL. Elliot, Saka and Arteta were both saying that it was very inconsistent. Yeah, I heard Saka's comments, and it's tough to argue with them. Naira, refereeing standards are so beyond poor. Yaks, bro, you've seen it all. Yep, we've already seen that one. Uma Rudiko, Elliot, he's a top ref. Naira, Leicester are decent, but we've given other teams too much credit. I think we need to be more confident. Yeah, you should, but it's hard to be more confident when you're not signing many players and you've just come from the Championship. It's not like any other Championship team that got promoted are killing it either. I think it's kind of about steadying the ship and trying to ease into the Premier League as quick as possible this season. And you've been given tough fixtures, man. There's nothing that could be said. There's nothing that could be said more than your fixtures are really painful. To start the season, I think you'd be. Who Southampton played? They had Brentford away. They were at home to Jesus. Who was Southampton home to last week? I can't remember, but I do feel like Southampton have had much more winnable fixtures, and you'd probably wish that you were them, and you might have picked up more points. Southampton have just got their first goal of the season. Naira, no wait. Shay. He's touching every team apart from Man United. Who? Who are we talking about there? We might be talking about Raheem Sterling, to be fair, because that boy is touching every team apart from Man United. He now on loan with Arsenal. I'm not sure if there's a reason why he wasn't able to take part today. Maybe he came on. I'm not sure. I didn't see it if he did. Because I was out and watching on my phone the second half. But yeah, he's an interesting addition, actually. I really like that decision for Arsenal. Raheem Sterling. Yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on that one for Arsenal. You've learned how the Premier League is now. Hopefully you adapt. Yep. Elliot got 18 points from Haaland already. Nice. Have you captained him, or is that a triple captain? No, I haven't. You've had Spurs, Fulham, and Villa. Yeah, that is not a fun fixture list. And out of those three, yeah, I mean, coming away with 0 points is fair. You got probably the best scenario in regards to your away game being against Fulham, being the most likely game where you probably could have done something, being away from him. But actually, no, maybe no. Because I was going to say, if you played away to Spurs and Villa and played at home to Fulham, then maybe you'd have been quite happy because you might have got some points out of Fulham. But actually, Spurs and Villa might have done so much to your confidence being away to them. They might have dominated you. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's worked out as good as it possibly could have so far, even though you've come away with no points. Shay, you see what you mean with Sterling? Oh, sorry. You were talking about Haaland. Wait, are you saying Haaland hasn't scored against United? Yeah, he has. He scored against United, didn't he? He scored a hat-trick with Foden, who also scored a hat-trick when they won 6-3, I think it was. Okay, Sterling was in the stands. Fair. You did a regular captain, unfortunately. That's like everyone, though. You wouldn't have thought he's going to get a hat-trick today. But a lot of people triple captained him last week against Ipswich and got a lot of points. Luca, thank you very much for your rose. I really appreciate the gift. That is greatly appreciated. Welcome as well. I hope that you are already following, but if you're not, please do hit that follow button. It'd be great to have you on way more of my lives. And please, in the meantime, get involved in the comments with your Elliots and your Nairas today, who have been nothing short of entertaining. Elliot, Naira, and Shay, thank you very much for all of your comments and all of your chat, essentially. Eddie and Ketia hat-trick incoming. I'm sure it is. Imagine. I mean, against Leicester. If there's ever going to be one, it'll be that one. He scored a hat-trick against a team, was it last season? He started one game. He got the hat-trick, I think. He scored 3 goals pretty much all season, and it was a hat-trick against whoever came bottom by like 1 million points. I think it was Sheffield United. Right. This is a lot of keeping up with you guys. Did I say Sheffield Wednesday? I meant Sheffield United. Can't wait for United versus Liverpool tomorrow, Shay. Yes. Yeah, my apologies if I said Wednesday. I definitely meant United. Yeah, I'm gutted. I wish I could commentate the United-Liverpool game tomorrow, but I'm unable to. I don't think I'm even going to be able to watch it because I've got plans, but that would be a brilliant game. So for anyone who is watching Man United-Liverpool, I hope you enjoy. Shay, thank you very much for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. Anyone else who wants to join and thumb that like button, it will be greatly appreciated. It will essentially direct more people to my lives, so more people can actually essentially see that I'm doing a live, jump on and interact in the same way as you guys all have today as well. 3-2 Liverpool. That's a great shout, Naira. I feel like if there's going to be a winner, it's probably Liverpool. But let's see. It's tough to know. I think if there's going to be a winner, it's Liverpool. But I would probably say if I was betting, I'm betting on a draw in that one. But I really like Arne Slot for Liverpool so far. I like the way they're playing, and I love their attacking. Like, Jurgen Klopp had a great style of just throw everyone forward when they're on the counter. I love the way that they don't need to be counted anymore. Like, they'll play a through ball. The balls they were playing in the second half at Ipswich, it was beautiful to watch from Liverpool. It's almost like a throwback. It was almost like FIFA. Someone was just hitting the triangle button. Like, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah were playing some beautiful through balls in, and Liverpool looked really good. Man United have won their first game, lost their second, haven't they? Yes, they have. Man United, when you look at Man United last season, At home, not too bad. Away, just lost everything. They lost every game away from home last season. So one thing you have to say about Man United, though, they do like to step it up when they're playing some tough opposition. If they're playing your Liverpool's at home, City's at home, Arsenal at home, they do have a good go. So Man United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford, that's why I'm saying maybe a draw. Because I think if United and Liverpool played at Anfield tomorrow, I'd be betting at maybe a 3-0 Liverpool win. Right. One last plug as well for my YouTube. If anyone is interested in joining the YouTube live stream instead, I am also live on YouTube at Ben Chender Commentary, same as my TikTok. Feel free to hit follow. Feel free to join the live there. I never knew this before today, but one of the regular followers and viewers on TikTok, he jumped on YouTube because, well, he actually asked me to go and do a live stream on YouTube as well, something I've never done before, because he said by doing it on YouTube, he can, I think, slow down the stream, I guess, or slow down the live game. I'm not quite sure, but essentially he was able to sync up so my commentary matches the live game. So sorry, guys, I'm getting distracted because I think they've got a new Batman film, which has absolutely got my attention because I'm a bit of a Batman fan. Oh, The Penguin. The Penguin has his own movie. Jesus. Okay. Right. International break always feels like years. Yes, it does, man. And you know the problem with... You know what? The international break, yeah, I'd be up for it if it was more like the new Champions League format. Now, hear me out, because a lot of people, they hate on the Champions League format. But I watched the draw, and I absolutely loved it, man. When you see the amount of big games that are actually going to happen early on as well, I'm all in for the new Champions League. They've sold me. I don't understand how you win points and how you win points, but how you go through to the next round. It seems really messy in that regard. But as a fan, there's just some absolutely fantastic games that are going to happen really, really early in the season. So if you could work out who's going to, get into the European Championships, the World Cup, how you qualify based on England playing against Spain next week and then playing against Portugal in 2 weeks and then playing against France, I'll be all in. It's just that I don't want to see England play San Marino ever again. I don't want to see us play these really, really not good teams. Sorry, Shay, just to quickly respond, my YouTube is the same as my TikTok. So at Ben Chender Commentary to catch my live stream on YouTube. Quick update as well. Lucas Fabianski, who played in the League Cup game for West Ham in midweek, he is coming on. So he is going to be coming on for Alphonso Areola in the second half. West Ham are making a change, and it's a strange one. Will it be a goalkeeping change? Elliot, you've seen on TNT Sports they're playing over 180 games of Champions League football. That is brilliant for us. Looks like we're going to be kept very well entertained this season. So we play easy teams. When we face bigger teams, we don't do well because we don't have experience. Fully agree, Naira. And that's my issue with it. That is 100% my issue. Let's stop playing San Marino. Let's stop playing against all these dead teams that are never, ever, ever on going to be in the World Cup or going to make it through the knockout stage. It's just it feels like it's a break for us from watching the Premier League, and that's what we actually want to see. Shay, yes, I'm sorry, I did actually check this as well. Shay, aka Plum FC, thank you very much for jumping on the YouTube. I will do my best if you prefer to talk on YouTube. I'll do my best to look this way and respond to any comments from you on there. But for as long as you're on TikTok and commenting, I'll be responding to you there. But if you want to join Shay on my live YouTube, I think Shay's already left my live YouTube now. Then feel free to jump on at Ben Chender Commentary for my live YouTube stream as well. Right, there's been a few more things that have happened. Tate, I hope you're doing well. I don't think I know you, but thank you very much for jumping on my live. Thank you very much for hitting the gift button and gifting me a few lovely little roses there. That's really appreciated. So make sure you hit that follow button too as well, so I can let you know when I'm doing my next live streams. I really appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate those gifts. Thank you very much, Tate. ACW, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for hitting that like button as well, you little legend. Another one of the OGs has returned, which I love to see. This is this is a great live for me so far. I've had a nice mix of the OGs who were jumping on my live streams last season, and a nice mix of the newbies who have come on, Shay, Naira, Elliot. I really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. So please make sure you are all keeping your eyes peeled, because I do a preview video before I come on and do a live. So I'll make sure I do one when I next go on live, which unfortunately now might not be for a couple of weeks because of the international break. I'm sure I can find an excuse. I might do a women's football game or some sort of mixed martial arts event next week, just so I can do some sort of commentary. Okay, second half is underway. Bubbles all over the screen as usual. And Man City are in possession as usual. Jack Grealish going to try and take on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. De Bruyne. Kovacic. Jack Grealish is starting today. Big opportunity for him to try and get in the good books of Pep Guardiola. Last season, he did take part in 36 games in all competitions, of which 20 were in the Premier League, but so many of them were off the bench. He got himself 3 goals and 1 assist last year, in definitely his least active season, whilst he's essentially in his prime now. So he'll really want to solidify himself as the first choice on that left-hand side and push Doku onto the right, as he has done today. Elliot up the hammers. Has Aaron Wan-Bissaka been good this game? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's not like he's played bad, but Man City are just too good. So Man City have targeted that left-hand side, or Wan-Bissaka being on the right-hand side. They've targeted that as a spot where they can get some joy. And I don't think anyone's gone past Wan-Bissaka. But Man City will just triple up. De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva go over there with Grealish. They'll play some triangle passes and they'll just end up behind him without him being able to do anything about it. So I don't even want to say Wan-Bissaka's playing bad. I just have to say that Man City are getting a lot of success in Wan-Bissaka's position. I think it's more that Wan-Bissaka needs support than he's playing bad. Now here's Ruben Diaz sprinting through the middle of the park. Here's De Bruyne. Oh, what a beautiful first-time pass with his left foot. And now Doku having a run at Kilman. Plays it towards the edge of the area. Good defending by Rodriguez. And it's a throw for Man City. Fabianski barking orders at his defence. It's not often that we see goalkeeping substitutions at half-time, so you wonder if Ariola's injured in any way. Fabianski, 39 years of age. He had himself 10 Premier League games last season from 29 games in all competitions. He did concede 21 goals in those 10 games. So it's never going to be great to come on as a sub when you haven't had any games all season in the Premier League. He did play in the League Cup, like I said, but to be asked to come on second half against City, that is a worrying thing for a goalkeeper. Grealish has won a corner. Fabianski with 1 clean sheet last season from his 10 games. He'd love the opportunity to not concede against Man City in the second half. That would do a lot for his confidence, but Man City have themselves a corner. Haaland in there, Vardyol's in there. De Bruyne is going to take it. Oh, header from Bernardo Silva. It bounced in front of him, and he just couldn't keep it down. Interesting one from De Bruyne. There was a bit of a wrestling match between Vardyol and Antonio. Right in front of the ball. Nothing came from it for Man City, though. Just a quick shout out again to you guys still talking in the chat. Please continue to do so. You guys are keeping me entertained. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but I hope you understand I can't respond. But you guys having a great chat, it seems, in the middle of the chat. Please continue doing so. Everyone else who's on, get involved, talk football, and let me know if you think there's any chance of West Ham getting an equaliser, or is this destined to be 3 points for Man City? Jeremy Doku cuts inside of Mavropanos. Bernardo Silva, Kovacic on the edge of the area. We know he can hit it. Bernardo Silva outside of the boot, cross hooked away by Wan-Bissaka. Ruben Diaz calmly lays it down to Vardio. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Jeremy Doku. Molekanji. Mateo Kovacic. We try and reply to Cody here. Cody Lothran. Have I watched Liverpool's 2 games so far? I actually commentated the first game where they played away to Ipswich, and I saw the highlights of the second, but they look very good, I think. I think they look very good. But let's see how they do when they've got their first test next week. Oh, Mohamed Kudus, he's got to be careful here outside of his own area, or in his own area, but he does well. De Bruyne hooks it back to Ruben Diaz. Cody, what did you think about Liverpool's first 2 games, and how do you fancy them doing this season? Elliot, how about Jamie Vardy? That's an easy one, though. And who's that guy that Leicester have? Now I want to play this game of naming Leicester players. Jesus. I can't think of anyone even now. I can only think of Jamie Vardy. Well, I can't think of anyone. I'm sure someone went on loan to them. Mavladidi. Okay, well, I won't even think of him for sure. I need to commentate a Leicester game before I can do that. Daka, great shout, Shay. Oh, good ball into the 6-yard box. Oh, and the confidence of Lucas Paquetá. And then Kudus with a beautiful turn, and West Ham are on a counter. 3-1 for West Ham. Here's Jared Bowen. Lewis is the only player back. Played back to Mohamed Kudus. Kudus off the post. West Ham should be level. What a chance. What a chance. West Ham finally put Man City under the cosh. 3-1. And the one for Man City was Rico Lewis. It actually reminds me of when Liverpool were playing Arsenal and Declan Lewis is on his own against 4 on the counter. The ball from Bowen was just a little too far ahead for Kudus, so he stretches to get the ball under control, does it successfully, blasts it with his left foot, and it hits the post. And Man City save there. And I doubt they're going to let themselves get into a situation like that again. But it was actually fantastic from West Ham from the get-go. A corner comes in, a bit of a scrap in the 6-yard box. The turn from Paquetá, comfortable, 6 yards out from his own goal, comfortably turns away from danger, almost flare-like turn, plays in Kudus, who goes on a brilliant run, and him and Bowen combine to almost draw the game level. Yes, it's still Shay. It's still currently West Ham 1, Man City 2. West Ham in possession now. Wonder if that can help him kick on here. Edson Alvarez. Rico Lewis gets his head on it. Emerson comes rushing in for it. Bit of a mess on the edge of the area. Paquetá, Kudus. Emerson in space. He doesn't use him. Alvarez finds Bowen just inside the Man City area on the wing. He's trying to take on Grealish, Jared Bowen. Oh, and he tries to swing the ball into the box, hits Vardio, comes back and hits Bowen and goes out for a goal kick to Man City. But look at this. Man City almost got themselves a 3rd goal with Vardio, and then Kudus gets away from De Bruyne, gets away from Doku, plays it through to Bowen, who's being chased by Grealish and Lewis. Kovacic is there too. Kovacic is the man who slides and puts off Mohamed Kudus, but he couldn't stop Kudus. Kudus with a rocket of his left foot off the near post. Lopetegui encouraged by it, and he tries to encourage his team to go on again and again. Excellent opportunity for West Ham. And a bit of drama and a bit of excitement for their fans here at the London Stadium. 62,500 people in a capacity crowd for West Ham against Man City today. Oh, don't worry, Cody. I don't think that's going to happen for too long. Man City are back in possession with Rico Lewis, Jeremy Doku, Bernardo Silva. They've got space on that left-hand side if they look to De Bruyne and Grealish. Choose not to, though. Jeremy Doku. Paquetá does win the ball back, but it just sort of falls loose to Rico Lewis, and Man City now want to take the sting out of the game and slow it down for a moment. De Bruyne, Kovacic, Rico Lewis. I'll tell you what, Shay, it'll be an interesting call if that happens, especially after Arsenal dropping points at Brighton. If Man City also drop points, Arsenal will feel a little bit vindicated after the Declan Rice red card, I'm sure. Don't think I can speak with too much confidence that I think it will end the draw, but I wouldn't also be confident that West Ham wouldn't score again. They can definitely score against this Man City side. And they have already won due to an own goal from Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, De Bruyne. Oh, Bernardo Silva trying to bundle his way into the area, but it's been cleared. Vardio slips, and Bowen's got the pace to take it round him. Vardio back now, while Bowen looks for options, and he has to go backwards. Mavropanos for West Ham. Paquetá, he's had a quiet game so far. Wonder if, again, I did mention in the first half when Kudus had a chance and he drilled it across the face of goal, that maybe using that side where Kudus takes on Rico Lewis might be their best chance of success, West Ham. And they haven't really pressed too high in that position. They've not really threatened too much in regards to playing the ball on that channel. Wan-Bissaka, nice 1-2 with Bowen. And he skips away from Kovacic's challenge as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka looking for options in the area. It's a good ball in towards the back post. It's beyond Rico Lewis. It's also beyond Mohamed Kudus, who does pick it up though. Kudus against Lewis. Plays at the edge of the area. Paquetá almost found Emerson, but intercepted by Bernardo Silva, who's looking for options to get rid of it though. And he just about finds Manuel Akanji. Emerson chases. Oh, Bernardo Silva and Akanji playing the ball around the corner flag and get out of danger there. Haaland slips after being dealt with. Near the halfway line, and now Lucas Paquetá. Rodriguez to Lucas Paquetá. Cody, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. At least now you'll be able to see whenever I do a live stream, because I do post a video beforehand letting you guys know. But it's great to have you join the family, Cody. Thank you ever so much. And it's great to see you in the chats as well, talking with Shay. Edson Alvarez, Bowen. Ball towards the 6-yard box. Kudus couldn't get hold of it. It seemed like he was a little bit ahead of it, and he tried to spin and get it under control with his back to goal and wasn't able to. It was a good idea from Bowen. Kudus just couldn't really figure out how to get it under control. West Ham 1, Manchester City 2. Just over 10 minutes and got into in the second half, and Pep Guardiola a little bit stressed, having a go at the fourth official after Haaland was just beaten for muscle by Max Kilman. Won't be the first or the last to get beaten by Max Kilman there, Erling Haaland. Grealish, Paquetá tries to comfortably lay it down for Rodriguez. Does so. Rodriguez nicely played into the middle of the park for Lucas Paquetá, who switches towards Bowen. In the area, tries to play it in for Antonio. Akanji defended very, very well. It's gone out for a throw for West Ham, and West Ham are having a real go at Man City now. Antonio has barely touched the ball, but his physical presence is tough to deal with for Akanji and Ruben Diaz. We've got to keep aware of him. We know he can put the ball in the back of the net given an opportunity. Wan-Bissaka. Jared Bowen on the wing. West Ham are really having a go at Man City. Bowen plays it into Antonio. Great defending from Akanji. That's a corner kick. Antonio slides in for it. I think less than 6 yards between him and the goal as he goes for it. But Akanji just got his body in the way. And he just touches it out for a corner kick to West Ham. West Ham look really, really dangerous right now. They're looking the most likely to score, which is almost feel myself shocked as I say it. It's their first corner. Bowen swings it into the 6-yard box. Kilman was almost there. Akanji just beat him to it. Edison comes out for his first punch of the season. Strange statistic, I know, but I do know that's the first time he's punched the ball this season. Rodriguez tries to blast it from about 30 yards out, and it's low but very, very wide. Shay, you're correct. It's very tense. It's a brilliant game, though. It's much more entertaining with West Ham actually having a go at Man City today. De Bruyne plays the ball into the middle of the park. It's just beyond Bernardo Silva. Paquetá got his head on it. Akanji. Kovacic to Grealish with De Bruyne making a run outside of him. Grealish moving at Grealish pace. Just trying to lull his opponents to sleep. Man City go backwards with Ruben Diaz. Radio. West Ham gonna have a really good season. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy for West Ham. They might come out of this game with 2 losses out of 3, but I feel confident in saying that you're right, ACW, that even with 2 losses out of their first 3 games, they are gonna be dangerous and they're gonna have a good season. Playing 2 of the top 4 in your first 3 games of the season is pretty challenging, but Jeremy Doku just got absolutely smashed there by Emerson. It was running in. Strong challenge on Doku. Free kick for Man City just inside the West Ham half. Kanji. So Emerson has been booked for that challenge. Now Jack Grealish wants to take on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And now De Bruyne inside the West Ham area. Bernardo Silva back to De Bruyne. Cross is blocked and West Ham get rid of it. West Ham just crowded the area out and now they're trying to sprint for a counter. Kudus plays a long ball for Bowen. Ederson comes running out and heads it out with a diving header for a throw to West Ham. West Ham there looking at another one of those dangerous counters. Better edits. Thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Great to have you on and I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you're watching the West Ham Man City game and what your thoughts are of it so far. ACW, a good transfer window, so it's possible. Yeah, 100%. I mean, let's look at some of the movements that West Ham did in the transfer window this season. So they brought in Luis Guilherme, who's on the bench today. He's a Brazilian starlet who's in the under-20 squad for Brazil. He was signed for 25 million from Palmeiras. Max Kilman for 40 mil from Wolves. Wes Fotheringham on a free from Sheffield United. And then loan deal for Carlos Soler, who I believe got unveiled today. Crescencio Somerville signed from Leeds. Nicholas Fulkrug from Dortmund. Guido Rodriguez from Real Betis on a free. Jean-Claire Todibo, who's on the bench from Nice on loan. Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 15 mil. And Mohamedou Kante from Paris FC. I mean, that is a genuinely really effective transfer window. I think West Ham, they could really kick on. No, Somerville's not playing right now, but he is on the bench. Most of those players I just named are on the bench, apart from Kilman, who is playing. He started, and Wan-Bissaka also started. But Fulkrug is on the bench. Guilherme is on the bench. Todibo is on the bench. Guido Rodriguez has started. But for the most part, most of those players were on the bench for West Ham that they've signed so far. I'll get to your response. I'll give you a response in a moment, FTB, John. It's just that Grealish just played to Silva. Fabianski was able to save. It's actually right at him. Let it go. Rolled away from Fabianski, but he was able to retrieve it very quickly. Grealish, a good run into the area. Plays it through the legs there of Rodriguez, and then it was hit by Bernardo Silva. First time, no real direction off the shot though. FTBL John, you love my videos, commentary, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I genuinely, I'm honest when I say that means a lot. I love doing this anyway, but it really means a lot that actually some people like when I'm doing the commentary. So thank you ever so much for the comment. Thank you for watching the old videos. Thank you for making it onto a live stream as well. I really appreciate it. And I hope you're going to be on loads more of my live videos, live streams even going forward. ACW, Fulkrug should come on. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they're not starting him. I don't know why I'm not giving him a chance, because with all due respect to Mikel Antonio, he's not scoring. and that's what he's there for. He can disrupt defenses. But I mean, Miguel Antonio has barely touched the ball today, and Fulkrug could just offer something different. Now Mohamed Kudus gets away with the ball, and West Ham have numbers forward, including Wan-Bissaka and Emerson. Oh, and he tried the one decision that maybe wasn't going to work, and it was Jared Bowen on the wing, intercepted by Vardio, who finds Doku, and Man City will go on the attack. They could counter here, but Man City want to keep at a walking pace, and they've slowed the game down completely with Bernardo Silva now. Back over to YouTube. Ben, did I watch Arsenal Villa game last week? You was at it. Nice. Morgan Rogers was Musa Dembele, etc., shoving players off like they're nobody. I went to my friend's house to watch the game last week, the Arsenal Villa game, and I got there late, so I essentially only saw the second half. But yeah, I mean, my mate was telling me, and he's an Arsenal fan, he was not enjoying that first half. He was saying that Villa were going to win. So Villa did look very good. He was saying Morgan Rogers looked unbelievable. So yeah, it's great to see that. It's great to see that Villa have got another young star coming through who can potentially be I wouldn't say the replacement for Douglas Luiz, because he's playing in a different way. He's getting forward and causing problems. I saw one of his runs where he was shoving off players in the second half, actually. Yeah, I like Morgan Rogers, and I like Villa. I think, especially now they've got that win against Leicester. Sorry to Naira if you're still in the chat. But 2 wins out of 3, tough games as well that they're winning. Could be a good season for Villa. And with all that said, makes the win for Arsenal even more special, I feel. To be able to beat a very good Villa side who created a lot of chances, that's huge for Arsenal's confidence. Now Doku gets into a good position, ball across the face of the goal, a bit too high for Haaland. But Grealish does a great job of keeping the ball in play. Jack Grealish. Can he get by Wan-Bissaka? He's in the area here. Oh, Wan-Bissaka does what Wan-Bissaka does and wins the ball from Jack Grealish inside his own area cleanly. No controversy, no thought of it even. Anyone ever complaining for a penalty? Wan-Bissaka is so good at those one-on-one duels. As is Grealish, but it's Wan-Bissaka who comes out on top this time. Kevin De Bruyne, space opens up, he shoots and Kilman blocks it. And that's a corner kick for Man City. 3 quarters of the way through the game now. Top 3 signings this summer. You think Naira left, but she said she would tune into more lives. That's all I could ask for. Thanks for letting me know that, Shay. Top 3 signings all summer. I'm going to say, actually, so far, from the games I've watched, Max Kilman's up there. I really like him. I really like him for West Ham. He was so good against Crystal Palace. So Max Kilman, definitely. I'm actually looking at the Man City transfers that they've done, and Ilkay Gundogan is coming on right now after coming on a free from Barcelona. And I'm not going to say he is one of the top 3 because it's too early to say. And he's only come on as a sub, but that's a super sub, ain't it? He came on as a sub last week. De Bruyne with the ball in. Diaz! Oh, he's got a score. Ruben Diaz with a chance to cancel out his own goal from about the same distance where he scored his own goal. The same end as where he scored his own goal. And you think he's going to just prod this in the back of the net. And he gets a touch. He just misses the target. Huge opportunity for Ruben Diaz. Naira, welcome back. We were just talking about you. But yeah, thank you very much for coming back. Just very quickly, right, Ben, you're a Villa fan, very excited for the Champions League too. It'll be your first ever Champions League game in Villa Park. That's wicked. That's wicked, especially because this season, and I was saying earlier, I think you might have gone off when I said it, I'm a big fan of this season's Champions League. Honestly, I watched the draw earlier today. I know it was a couple of days late, but I watched how the draw went down. And I didn't understand the competition, don't understand the format, don't understand how you go through yet and how it's all one league. That bit still blows my mind. I'm very confused. But what I will say is I'm a big fan of the fact that we're going to get a lot of great games and very early in the season. And if you're a Villa fan, I mean, there's a good, 3 teams from pot 1, 3 teams from pot 2 or pot A, pot B, whatever you call it, that they're going to be really fun games for you to watch. I think it's 2 actually. It's 2 from each pot. That's going to be some really entertaining games for you to watch. Exciting big teams that are going to come to Villa Park, and yeah. If I was going to games, I'll be buzzing if my team played in the Champions League this season. So yeah, very happy for you. You're gonna have to let me know. I'll probably try and do a couple of Champions League games, try and commentate a Villa game. It would be fun. It would be definitely a lot of fun to watch those, especially in the stadium. Naira, what were we saying? Shay, thank you for answering that. We just said that you'd left and that you were tuning in because Naira, we were talking about Leicester. Well, I was talking on YouTube to Ben, who's a Villa fan, and we were talking about Leicester's game against Villa today. So I mentioned, yourself being a Leicester fan, that you might not have been happy about what I'd said. But now Nicholas Füllkrug is coming on for Antonio. Vladimir Coufal is on for Emerson as West Ham have themselves, I believe, a corner here with 20 minutes to go, and they're going to try and push on and get the equaliser with 20 minutes left. Chopper, thank you very much for returning. Good to have you on. Thanks for the likes as well. Bone with the ball in. Kilman heads it over the bar from about 6 yards out. And now I'm thinking I might have to rescind my comments about him being one of the top 3 transfers of the summer. Because from 6 yards out, he should have scored that. 6 yards out. And there's a lot of people jumping. He lets it come off the top of his head. I don't think he thinks he's going to get it. He doesn't really jump high for it. But he heads it well over the bar. And Man City are going to make a change themselves. Shay, you've just said 115 likes, ironically. I'm not going to talk about that at all, especially if there's Man City fans on here. But that is quite funny. Naira, you think Villa were fouling you for no reason? It was so frustrating. That might just be professional fouls, them trying to manage the game out. ACW, come on, you irons. Chopper, liking the live. Thank you very much. If anyone else wants to do me a favour, as Chopper is doing, please smash that like button and get more people onto these lives in future. It's clearly worked because we've got a few new people on today with Naira, Shay and Elliot. So yeah, feel free to hit that like button and do me a favor there too. Thank you, ACW. Heading over to YouTube. Ben, my team isn't in the Champions League. I don't have a team. What I'm saying is if I went to games, which I don't, and my team was in the Champions League, then I would want to I would definitely be trying to go to the games this season because I think the Champions League format is brilliant. Get them to court. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ben. Oh, get them to court. You're sick of Haaland playing in the FPL and City win the league. I feel like maybe next year the FPL could just remove Haaland and let's see who's actually really good at that game. Even players are getting frustrated and fans. Who do England have in the international break? Who knows and who cares, Naira? With all due respect, I don't know and I never know who England play in the international break, ever. And I've not even seen who's been selected either, Shay, I have to be honest. Right, 15 or so minutes to go, or 17 minutes left of normal time. Still West Ham 1, Man City 2. Ilkay Gundogan playing left right now with Vardy. Plays a nice little back heel to Mateo Kovacic. De Bruyne. Kovacic again. Man City looking like Borussia Dortmund today with this yellow and black striped kit here. Wonder if that's playing on Nicholas Füllkrug's mind at all. Rico Lewis. Bernardo Silva plays the ball for Gundogan, who might have been offside, but he's played it back to De Bruyne, back to Gundogan, who might be offside again. Fabianski was claiming that he was. Bernardo Silva. Rico Lewis from Akanji. Kovacic in space. Plays it out to his left-hand side. Here's Mateus Nunes, who came on for Jack Grealish. He wants to have a run at Vladimir Coufal. Almost played the perfect ball for Gundogan. Bowen ends up with the ball. He's got 3 players to beat. And couldn't get by Vardy. De Bruyne. Man City controlling the flow of the game right now, but I don't feel like they'll be happy with 2-1. Knowing how dangerous West Ham are on the counter, they want a third goal, Man City. They want to kill this game off. Bernardo Silva. Manuel Akanji. Plays it all the way back to Diaz. We've got the own goal that's given West Ham this glimmer of hope. And kept them in this game. Erling Haaland, 1 goal away from a hat-trick today, and his second in 2 weeks. But he's barely touched the ball since that second goal. Kovacic steps by his man and was clearly kicked. Obviously kicked by Guido Rodriguez, who gets the yellow card for that. Chopper, come on, you hammers. I think you're speaking on behalf of most of the country, unless you're a Man City fan. I think everyone wants to see City being challenged. And they have been today. They've had control of possession for so much of the game, but when West Ham have had a chance, they've really caused City problems. Hitting the post through Mohamed Kudus, who's also had a shot drilled across the face of goal. Kilman heading over the bar 6 yards out. Mikel Antonio at full stretch. It's just beaten by Manuel Akanji. It really could have been 2-2 a lot earlier in this game. West Ham have had a few chances though. Yes, correct, Shay. We've had quite a few chances as I just listed. Chopper, you want to see Haaland have a blank in the FPL? Well, he's not had one today. He's gotten 2 goals. Have you still not got him in your FPL team? Because that's risky. Here's Rico Lewis, drills it across the 6-yard box, but Max Kilman again is there. And that is why he's one of my top 3 transfers of the season. Naira, you went to today's game, but probably your last for a while as the uni is starting in a bit. Rico Lewis. He's not had the easiest game for City today. But he has looked good going forward. He had a good chance in the first half himself. But he drilled it over the bar. Thomas Souček is coming on, and he's coming on for Alvarez. Thomas Souček is, I was going to say, their joint top scorer. He's on 1 goal. Joint with Paquetá and Bowen. He did get 7 goals last season. He also got 2 assists as well. He's a really good player for West Ham and a loyal servant to the club. De Bruyne. And that was Souček with the first touch of the game. Getting rid of that corner. Bowen wins the throw. Souček's actually had the most shots for any West Ham player coming into this game. He had 8 shots, which was the joint 6th in the league before this match game week began. He also missed the joint 2nd most big chances of the league, where he had 2 misses in the first 2 games of the season. Mohamed Kudus switches the player across to the other side of the pitch, where he finds Vladimir Coufal. Coufal, a good ball in, dealt with easily by Vardio, and Mateus Nunes, quickest to react to pick up the ball for Man City. Plays it back to Vardio. Now here's Gundogan. Bernardo Silva. Tripped up by Mohamed Kudus. Nothing given. Fulkrug. Big chance inside the area. Souček! Oh, wide. Don't think that's going to count as a big miss. It wasn't going to be easy to find a way past a few Man City players there. But he was in the area. I mean, Bernardo Silva tripped up, but Kudus did win the ball. Plays it across the 6-yard box. Fulkrug turns backwards from goal. Souček tried to play it back to Fulkrug. It was blocked by Kovacic and came back to Souček, who's now off balance. Tries to place it, and he plays it way wide of the post. Big chance. Well, a chance for West Ham. A rare mistake from Bernardo Silva. West Ham have had 5 shots in the second half, and Man City have only had 4. Where am I? How far behind am I? NXZ Football, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Great to have you on. Do I remember? I'll be honest, I barely remember anyone. So my apologies if I have forgotten you, but thank you for coming back. Remind me, which event or which game or even UFC, I imagine football, Which game were you on when I commentated? Was it Ipswich Liverpool by any chance? Okay, yeah. Footy edits. Jesus Christ. Why are you confusing me? What happened to your footy edits account? You did. I apologize, but I've not been consistent enough, and you've not been there enough for me to remember your new name is NXZ. But why did you change your name from Footy Edits? Pacatar. But again, it's another OG who's back on the live. So great to have you on Footy Edits, which is probably what I'm always going to call you as long as I remember who you are. Wan-Bissaka steps past Akanji, cleared away by Diaz. And now, De Bruyne tried to touch it around Pacatar, but he wasn't able to. Man City do end up in possession, though. Ilkay Gundogan with space to run into. Touches on ahead of him. And here's Matheus Nunes. Back to Gundogan. Kovacic. Kevin De Bruyne. Playing outside the West Ham area here. Now back towards the halfway line. Ruben Diaz again. It's probably an unwarranted and something that you're not going to love to hear if you're a West Ham fan, or especially if your name is Jared Bowen, but he actually had been dispossessed more than the second most out of all the players this season so far. He had been dispossessed 7 times in the first 2 games of the season. De Bruyne, corner for Man City, and he has been dispossessed a few more times today. Jared Bowen. Footy Edits. You changed your name a while ago. It sounded stupid, not going to lie. I don't know if I agree with that. I like Footy Edits, but whatever floats your boat. I will try to get on board with NXZ football, but if I do, please don't change again, because it will take weeks, I imagine, for me to remember. But thanks for hitting that like button, as you always do. Really appreciate it, as I always do. And yeah, see you soon if you're heading off. Nunes. Trying to get away from Pacatar, and he does. Vardio. Oh, Nunes kept on running. Here he is. He sneaked in, plays it across towards Haaland. Wan-Bissaka left the leg behind to deny him, because that was going straight to Erling Haaland, who, as we know, would have been ready to blast it with his left foot. He's already beaten Alphonso Areola with pure power, and he's beaten him with precision. I'm sure he'd love the opportunity to beat Fabianski too. There's only 8 minutes of normal time to go. West Ham 1, Manchester City 2 at the London Stadium. Calmness again as he tries to play out of defence, but this ball wasn't as good. Bernardo Silva into the area. Great little quick feet to get around his man, but Wan-Bissaka managed to pick up the ball from him, and Fabianski gets rid of it. Bowen tries to put Vardy under pressure. Oh, Ruben Diaz does really well to deny a header towards Ederson being intercepted. Oh, Gundogan to Nunes, and there's the through ball. Erling Haaland's in. Haaland one-on-one with Fabianski, and he makes that look too easy. Erling Haaland's gotten his 2nd hat-trick in 2 games, and he's gotten his 7th goal of the season. This man has had 1 chance in the second half, and he's made it look so easy. This game is over now with 7 minutes of normal time to go, and Erling Haaland again. What a beautiful through ball that was. Beautiful weight again from Nunes. And Haaland, too quick and too strong to catch. So once he was in, he was in. And that finish, the finish from Haaland as well, it's divine. He's so beautiful when he scores. He's just too confident and made it look too easy. He doesn't know how to stop scoring at the minute. This ball here, so Gundogan touches onto Nunes. Nunes on the run through. And look at that timing. If he's onside here and it's close, because Kilman might have just played him off. Look at that left foot, just dinks it. Dinks it into the corner beyond Fabianski. See you later, ACW. But it was great to have you on anyway. Wow. Sorry, Ben's not on YouTube anymore, but if he was, I would have said sorry to you, because he said he's sick of Haaland in the FPL. And same against the Chopper as well. Because if you are sick of seeing Haaland score goals, he's onside. He is onside, Erling Haaland. So the third goal is going to stand. The Vikings scores again. Very true, Shay. Jay Thompson 3-0. Do you mean 3-1? 2 hat-tricks from 3 games. Who does that? Who scores 2 hat-tricks in 3 games in a season? It's frightening numbers from this man. And if you have FPL, make sure you put Erling Haaland in it. Stop trying to be stubborn. You have to have this man in it. It's insane not to. And he has to be your captain as well. He literally has to. He's showing form better than when his first season in the league. Now, it's looking like Somerville is going to come on for Jared Bowen. Not sure if Bowen just came off wearing his armband still, but West Ham 1, Man City 3 with 5 minutes to go. Is this better for you? Oh, that's actually really nice of you for Yiddish. You don't have to change the name for me, Jesus. But I mean, it's a little bit easier for me, I'll say. But yeah, you got to go with the name you want to go with. I will adapt. Just we need a little bit more consistency with me doing more of the lives again and you being on more. So I can just get used to your new name. But yeah, by all means, you don't have to change the name for me. As lovely as it was. Footy Edits, enjoy your burger. I'll catch you shortly if you're back before the end of this game. If not, then I'll catch you on my next live. I'm not quite sure when it's going to be because I can't do tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll be some point, hopefully before the international break. I'll look and see what games are on in maybe other competitions or maybe, I don't know, UFC or something. See you later. Enjoy your burger. Kovacic. Ilkay Gundogan kicks it out because Vardio was down. Thank you very much for hitting that like button, Shay. It's been great to have you on. Been very regular in this chat. Lots of likes. My favorite kind of follower. So thank you very much, Shay. So Pep Guardiola has just kissed Kevin De Bruyne, it seems. Now, who else is coming off? City looking set to make a couple of changes. Kyle Walker looks ready to come on. Vardio hasn't seen that he's being taken off. Oh, and De Bruyne has also too. So Kyle Walker takes on the captain's armband as he gets on the pitch with Nathan Ake. 2.5 minutes left at the London Stadium. West Ham 1, Manchester City 3. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland with a hat-trick for Man City. While Ruben Diaz got an own goal for West Ham. Man City taking full advantage of Arsenal being held to a draw by Brighton. Walker's pass intercepted by Somerville and it's gone out for a throw. Show just seems to stay on the road forever, doesn't it? 2 minutes left. Feels like the sting of the game has been taken out because there was always that thought that West Ham could get a goal. They've been dangerous when they've had an opportunity. Oh my God, Kyle Walker just disposed of Crysenso Somerville in a way that was very much men against boys, just shoved him and sent him flying to the ground. But there was always that feeling that West Ham could get back into this game. It doesn't feel like that anymore. And it seems like the air and energy has been sucked out at the London Stadium. It's all because of that man again, Erling Haaland. His precision is like no one else in the Premier League. And probably no one else in the world, really. The one time he wasn't so precise was when he blasted the ball and it was just so powerful and quick for Areola. What a player. Rico Lewis is in here on the wing. This could be 4. Nunez wants it at the back post, and Fabianski has to punch away. It's a good throw on the other side of the pitch now for Man City, who are looking for number 4. Man City will have 3 wins from 3 and 9 goals from their first 3 games. And they actually came into this game with a little, with a record of, well, an average even, of 3 goals per game, and they've kept that up with 3 today. West Ham set to have lost 2 from 3, but have played very well in all their games so far. Luxury Store, you have your own sunglasses website. The link is in your bio. That's great to know. Thank you very much, Luxury Store. Bernardo Silva for Man City. Kyle Walker. 5 minutes of added on time. Oh, Walker's been dispossessed. Oh, and Paquetá brought down. Free kick for Man City. And West Ham want to take it quickly. Paquetá does. It's just beyond Thomas Souček. And Paquetá is very upset with that. And there's a waste of a free kick and a waste of a chance for West Ham. Luxury Store. So far, nobody is buying from you. I'm sorry to hear that, man. For anyone else who's in the chat, if you're interested in luxury sunglasses, Luxury Store, or just sunglasses in general, please feel free to look at Luxury Store and what he's got to offer. Jay, you're going to have to go now. You'll try and tune in some more streams in the future. Please do. It's been great to have you on. Yourself and Naira and Elliot have been highly entertaining. You probably more so because you've been on so much with the likes and the comments and the messages. So I really appreciate it. But Shay, have a great rest of your day, great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on at some point in the future. See you later. Ball's been clipped out to the wing. Bernardo Silva heads to keep it in play. User 97 open bracket 3567. Haaland, best striker on the planet, undoubtedly, yes. And we're very lucky to have him in the Premier League and not over at Real Madrid, at least at this point in time. Nathan Ake, Mateus Nunes, Kovacic, Rico Lewis in the middle of the park, takes a touch, looks out to the wing, finds Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva plays it back to Kyle Walker. Akanji, look at the space for Nunes on the wing. Oh, he tries to find Rico Lewis, but it went beyond him. Wan-Bissaka, who's been shifted over to the left because of Soufal's introduction. And he's actually played the ball ahead for Crescenzo Somerville, who knows he hasn't got the pace to get around Walker, so he steps backwards. Now here's Paquetá. Guido Rodriguez. Vladimir Soufal. Mohamed Kudus, who's also switched sides now. Couldn't get around Nathan Ake. Rodriguez, Lucas Paquetá in the middle of the park, looking for options. Nice one to a Souček. Oh, he tried to find full Krug, but couldn't. Ilkay Gundogan turns and was tripped by a Soufal, and that's a free kick for the visitors again.
Unmatched in the Premier League.
Haaland is the first ever player in a Premier League season to have as many as 7 goals in the first 3 games of the season. His closest competition was Edin Dzeko, who once had 6 goals in his first 3 games. And there were 6 other players on 5, but Haaland, 7 goals in 3 games is insane. He might end up with a record-breaking year again. Akanji, Kovacic. Looking for options. Plays it out to the wing. Mateus Nunes. Nathan Ake. Nunes carries on his run. Here he is. He wants to take on Vladimir Soufal. Souček goes over to support his compatriot. Kovacic almost tricked everyone with that ball towards Gundogan. Now Wan-Bissaka, who's had a really good game. He walks by Bernardo Silva with ease, cuts inside with a beautiful touch. Great play from Wan-Bissaka, who's playing some brilliant football for West Ham since he joined. Brilliant play by him. And now here's Mohamed Kudus. Cuts inside, makes some space, hits it, blocked, spins and tries to get the ball back. Wan-Bissaka now on his favoured side. Clips the ball towards the area. Fulkrug gets a flick on it. Souček. Fulkrug. It's a bit of a mess in the area, but Man City come away with the ball with Gundogan. And here's Erling Haaland. Touches it ahead for Gundogan. Oh, beautiful touch by him around 2 fouls. It's 2 against 4. And what a ball. He's found Haaland again on the right side of Kilman. Tough angle. Oh, and saved by Fabianski. Almost found his way through the legs of Lucas Fabianski. And Haaland's angry at himself that he wasn't able to make it 4 and get his 4th. Paquetá steps away from Rico Lewis with ease. Still going. Oh, he's found a ball through for Somerville. Fulkrug, good defender from Ake. Comes back to Somerville. Oh, off the post. It was beautifully placed from Crescenzo Somerville. Ederson does a brilliant job to get a hand on it. And he tips it. It still looks like it could go in, but it goes off the post. It could and maybe should be 3-2. Not because it was an easy chance, just because it was a beautiful attempt from Crescenzo Somerville. And West Ham will have to try and get a goal from the corner. And they don't get the opportunity to. Michael Oliver blows the whistle. It's game over. They had a good go, West Ham. But Man City are going to come away with all 3 points after 3 goals for their talisman, Erling Haaland. West Ham 1, Man City 3. Zane, shout out from you, from me to you. Great to have you on, Zane. Feel free to hit follow if I'm giving you the shout out. But ultimately, Man City, they look like they've picked up exactly where they left off last season. Thank you for the follow, Zane. They've picked up exactly where they left off at the end of last season. Haaland has picked up where he left off. Man City looking better than ever. 3 points, 3 goals. And West Ham, who gave it a really good go today when they had the chance to, just weren't strong enough or resolute enough. Clinical moments from their Viking, Erling Haaland, have been the difference maker. West Ham 1, Man City 3. And I'm out, guys. Thank you very much for jumping on the live. Thank you for anyone who has been liking, for watching, for hitting follow if you weren't already following, for commenting. It was a really, really fun live. Probably the best I've done so far this season. I'm wishing you all a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you shortly when I do the next live. I'll figure out when that is, and you'll all see if you're already following when I post a preview video. But if you're not already following, hit that follow button and you'll know the next time I do one of those lives. But until then, catch you soon. All the best. Have a great rest of your weekend.
On Sky Sports Premier League, we're going to reflect on events at the London Stadium where Erling Haaland's hat-trick means that Manchester City have beaten West Ham by 3 goals to 1. In terms of performances,